Welcome back to the Tampa Bay Rowdies Podcast. The Rowdies are still undefeated. The only undefeated team, and this is not fact-checked, but it's been social media. We've been looking at it quite a bit. The only undefeated team left in an American soccer league.
Okay. I saw something on Instagram that said the same thing. So, I mean, if it's on social media, it's got to be true. Let's just roll with it. No one's fact-checking us right now, right here.
And that means that the podcast is still undefeated. The team's still undefeated. 4-0-2 on the season. They went to Charleston where they hadn't gotten a point, I think it was since 2021. The game was a little bit of a challenge. I think Charleston dominated the first half, and then the Rowdies started to settle in the second half quite a bit, and then there was a little bit back and forth. The Rowdies get that late goal, which would have been really against the run of play. So, like, once they scored that late goal, you're kind of thinking in your head, like, oh, my gosh, we're going to go steal 3 points. We probably don't deserve these 3 points, but we're going to take them anyway.
See, I didn't think that, though. I thought, like, let's just hold on here. Let's see what happens. Whenever there's time left, like, just from being a hockey fan, like, you really only need a couple seconds for something to happen. And, man, before I started calling my whole family up there to tell them, like, that the Rowdies took the lead, I was like, let's just see the rest of this play out. And, man, it played out fast.
Like a minute later.
Yeah.
So the Rowdies take the lead late, which was it was a little bit more back and forth in the second half. But again, it was a little bit against the run of play. But then Charleston responded right away with the pretty, give them their flowers. Like, that was a pretty wild goal to head the ball in that direction from the spot that they headed it. I don't really know that there was much to do from a defensive standpoint unless you had somebody sitting there. But then the game ends 1-1. Rowdies go to Charleston, get a point. Good point. That's a good point.
Are we happy with the tie? I know last tie we were like, but this tie,
That's a good point.
Okay.
Yeah, that's a good 1 point on the road. And then they're coming back home. 2 games in a row at home. The first game is against Sarasota, which is part of the USL Cup, something we'll dive into. And then, again, we're back to the regular season on May 2nd. So 2 opportunities, again, to come down to Outlaying over the next couple weeks to check them out. But, again, the team's undefeated, 4-0-2. We always talk about it. They have 20 new players. Charleston's an established group that's been together for a very long time, and we went on the road and got a point.
What do you let me ask you this about Coach Dom. Obviously, having him on the show last week and you being around him a lot more. Was everything cool with the interview? I mean, I was trying to watch his body language on the sidelines to see, like, if everything was still good with us after we had the interview and the way that the game tied on Saturday. So everything's good with that?
He texted me on Sunday and said that he had just subscribed to the pod.
Okay.
And that he listened to it, and that he liked the part before he was even on, because obviously he didn't hear that part.
Oh.
And then he had a lot of fun doing it, and he's looking forward to the next time.
Dude, to watch whatever, a 38-minute podcast for a busy guy like that. I mean, although 20 minutes of it was him, that's cool. Like, we like that. So
it went well, and if he wants to do it again, so like anytime you want somebody to come back on, that's a big win, right? Especially the head ball coach.
No, that was really cool. So for the game that's happening this Saturday, and I know we touched on it a little bit this week or last week on the episode, I mean, it's rough and rowdy, right? I mean, you left that part out. We can buy a dog ticket. We can bring the dogs to the pitch this weekend.
The dogs are coming to the park. Who let the dogs out? Not us, because they're staying in.
Is there what you know what the dog area looks like, or you have no idea what's happening here?
Well, I'm going to be in the booth. But, like, I know that there's a designated dog area in which all the dogs will be located. So, like, all the tickets for the dogs, like, obviously with their owners, there's a designated spot for the dogs, for said dogs.
This gives
but
me
there is a limited amount of dog tickets because, like we said last week, you can't have just dogs just running around.
Yeah, you can't. Listen, you're not kids are bringing in 8 dogs for free. Okay, dogs got to pay too. We love dogs in St. Pete, but we treat dogs as people, and people still have to pay to get in there. So don't be trying to stick any chihuahua right there in your jacket or anything like that. We're gonna see that. We're gonna know what's going on. It's gonna be a great view for you in the booth, getting to see just the sea of dogs. It's going to be like one giant dog park. I hate going to the dog park because I always have to make small talk with other people about their dogs and how old's your dog, and I don't care about other dogs. But luckily, I'm leaving my dogs at home for this one.
Isn't that the point of the dog park, though? To interact with other dog owners?
No, not for me. No, it's the point of the dog park is to go get my dog energy so my dog's not crazy when I want to chill later. If I wanted to make small talk about other people's dogs, then I would join some sort of online community or something for that. But I'm not looking for any talk out there on the streets about your animal.
Well, then you know what, Seth? I think it's good that you're leaving your dogs behind for Rough and Rowdy's night because I want it to be a communal thing.
Yeah, no.
I want the dog community to come together at Rough and Rowdy's and enjoy a soccer game while also interacting with other dog owners.
Okay, well, let's hope every dog's on their best behavior because we will Eject dogs too, okay?
Yeah, that's fair.
We'll send
That's
you
fair.
right out there on Central. You're going to be roaming the streets.
So with the Rough and Rowdies game, obviously there's dogs, but this is a little bit different. So this is against the Sarasota Paradise, the team that they play in the Coastal Cup. Obviously they're right down the road. We're trying to get a little bit of a derby going with this team because they've invaded our territory.
Have they? Okay.
Coming close to St. Pete the way that they did. But at the same time, this is part of the USL Cup. And what the USL Cup is, for those that don't know, it's a combination of teams between the USL Championship, which is the league the Rowdies are in, where they play the regular season, and then USL League One, which is a division underneath. And Sarasota is a team there in USL League One. And the group that the Tampa Bay Rowdies are in, it's all the Florida teams in the USL. So essentially, they're playing against all the derby teams, all the derby games in the state of Florida to get out of their group. And then if you get out of the group, you go on to the next round, the knockout stages. It's kind of set up in a World Cup style format. So this game is a little bit different from the league games. And another way that they do it as well is if you end the game in a tie, it goes straight to penalties.
Okay.
So tournament games, like if the game ends in a tie on Saturday, it goes straight to penalties.
How do you feel about that? Do you like a game ending like that, or are you okay with ties? As a former keeper yourself, that seems like a no-win proposition, having to guess which way the kick's going.
I think with tournament games, I like it.
Yes.
Tournament games, I like it. Regular season, you couldn't do that because you need to get your points. But then there's also, because there's always that debate of like, should games end in a shootout? And, you look at a sport like hockey where in the playoffs, they just keep playing and playing and playing and playing. You can't do that in soccer.
Right.
You have a limited amount of subs. You're already talking about running by the end of overtime, it's 120 minutes. So that's a pretty extended time to have guys running on the field with no breaks, no stoppages or anything like that. So you almost have to end it in penalty kicks at that point.
Yeah, it's in the same category as football where you cannot just play all night until something happens.
Yeah, you just can't keep going. So tournament games, I love it. If they win it in the shootout, you get 2 points. If you win it regular, you get 3. If you lose in the shootout, you get 1, and then if you just lose, you get 0. So it's a good way to figure out. It's a good way to settle it. So I think it's fun.
Yeah, there should be different rules, different things going on this weekend at the pitch. Not only are we going to have the dogs, but you got Sarasota coming in, and we got different things that are on the line. Let me ask you this: I saw you this weekend on I don't know if it's LinkedIn. You're all over the place on social media. You're doing a good job. What was going on at Armature Works? Were you in the Premier League? Were you on their morning show? What happened?
So we got to give a big shout out to our internal team for putting the stuff together that they did this weekend.
The marketing team,
social team did a good job as well. So it's EPL morning show, the English Premier League morning show, came to Tampa for the weekend. And so there were all these different Premier League teams that have representation there. There were mascots. There were legends from teams. There were different social media people trying to put all this different stuff together. So it came together towards the end of the week. But I spent pretty much 3 of the 4 days of the weekend hanging out with the guys from Sunderland. So there's a player named Kevin Phillips. He's an old-time legend. I had to learn about him, to be honest, because my soccer history isn't the best. But I had to learn about this guy, and a very accomplished guy. And
Can you just hang out with soccer players like it's no big deal, or you feel like you got to put a little effort into getting to know them before you feel comfortable?
No, we're good.
You're good?
I speak the lingo.
Well, no, I know, but now you're like, oh my God, I had to learn how these guys were. But I've been like, yo, what's up? Tell me about your career, buddy. Heard you're a legend.
Yeah, no, I mean, I learned about him because he came out to practice and they wanted to do a training session. Like Kevin Phillips trains as a rowdy. So we put him through a training session. I hopped in goal for him. I haven't hopped in goal in 4.5 years. I haven't hopped in goal since I retired.
You didn't tear anything, did you?
Not anything that wasn't already torn. So then we had a good time doing that. They only posted the goals, by the way. I'm still waiting on our video guy Santi to post the saves because I made saves, but there's no proof of that yet. He's stalling with it. But then so we did that and did a training session. And then on Saturday, we toured him around Tampa. They wanted to do a social content of like, where should we go in Tampa? Where should we hit the spots? So we essentially just bopped around Tampa until we ended up at a pizza spot where we watched the Rowdies game.
Where did you feel like the key spots in Tampa were? Like, where did you feel like you needed to take him?
What we did with them versus like actually taking them to like the main key spots in Tampa were very different because we were on a limited window and I wanted to do it where it was like a walking thing, and selfishly I wanted to do it near my house. Right. So we hit we hit Lower Deck, we went down Water Street, and then we like looped it around downtown and then ended at this pizza spot called Three Corners where we had them put the Rowdies game on and we sat there, ate pizza, had a beer, and watched the Rowdies game together. So it was cool.
Okay, so you just stayed pretty much around downtown Tampa.
Yeah, I didn't bop around at all. We walked, we stayed in the lane. I walked everywhere. We weren't going to be hopping in Ubers. But then, so we did that on Saturday. Obviously, the boys had the game on Saturday. And then Sunday, me and a couple other people from the marketing team went up there early morning to, get things out into the public, trying to like spread the brand a little bit, trying to get jerseys on stage. We got the jerseys on stage at the EPL event.
Did their shows start quite a bit earlier?
6:30 in the morning.
Yeah, because they're on a time difference.
Yeah.
And then it looked like it was packed out there when they were on the air.
There were tons of people, tons and tons of people. So like there are soccer fans in Tampa. We saw them. They're all there.
Well, yeah, I was going to say, so, I mean, you said they picked 2 random American cities to come to each year. So picking Tampa Bay is an interesting choice. And is it to showcase that there's a soccer hotbed that's happening here, or at least one that's growing?
I think. I mean, and I know that there's always like these huge EPL supporters groups that get together and watch these games. So this was just like an opportunity for all those supporters groups to come together at this event and like go nuts because there were the people that host the show were there. There are famous people there. There were all the different people representing the clubs. Like the different trophies were in attendance. So it was just a cool event for the soccer community to come together. And then from a Rowdies perspective, we just did the best that we could to, hey, if you're a soccer fan, come see us.
Was there anything out there that you kind of I don't know, anything that you kind of like fanboyed out over, anything that you got excited about, or, you're hardened and jaded at this point and, seeing some sort of jersey or soccer ball or trophy, that's not going to get you going?
I got to see some people that, I got to see somebody I used to play with, so that was cool, or used to play against, and he's a big deal, so that was cool. I got to catch up with some friends that now do hosting for that show. But the first time I met them, they were just kind of like us doing a podcast, and I sat down and did their podcast. They were just like streaming on Fubo TV or something, and now they're on NBC hosting the show.
Was Julie Binks there?
Julie Binks was there.
Oh,
yeah,
good.
I got to see Julie. She was there as well. And then, so it was just, for me, it was more fun seeing people from my old life that were in town. So I got to catch up with them. But again, I'm not like a huge EPL guy, so none of that stuff really does it for me. But I will say after the weekend, I'm pledging my allegiance to Sunderland.
Okay, yeah.
I've never had an EPL team, but because we had so much fun going around town and hanging out with those guys, I am Sunderland till I die.
Showing them all.
Starting today.
Showing them all the Tampa landmarks like only a man like Jeff Attinella can. Jeff, I have a question for you. So coming up in the world of sports, the NFL is having their draft. It's a massive deal. They take it on tour. They're in Pittsburgh this year. The people go crazy, but not a lot of people can experience like getting drafted. And so I saw today that you were drafted in the 14th round, which I didn't even know they had 14 rounds. What is
fourth round?
What was the fourth?
Fourth round, pick 14.
Oh, okay, all right. ChatGPT needs to fix itself. Sorry, there's not 14 rounds, are there?
No.
All right, sorry about that. So, what's that feeling like to get drafted? And did you know? What point did you know where you were going to get picked?
So, my draft experience.
I'm sorry about round 14.
To compare, yeah, round 14 would have been tough. To compare my experience, I would have been like the guy that was projected to be high that got stuck in the green room.
No, like the Aaron Rodgers, like Lamar Jackson, like we're here, we don't know what's happening.
I didn't like, they would have escorted me out of the green room after the day ended.
Oh.
I was that guy. So I was from what I was told, I was supposed to be taken in the first round, maybe like late first round, maybe early second. That's like what I was being told. And then essentially, like as the real draft day went, there were 3 rounds of like the draft day where it's like they're calling the names, they're doing the things. My name didn't get called at all. Brutal weekend. I was like, what is going on? Like, this is awful. No idea what's happening. My agent was terrible. That guy was terrible at the time.
Yeah.
But he we won't name names, but he was the worst. And so, I spend the weekend and I'm like, well, all my dreams are crushed. It's all over. What am I doing? Blah, 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 blah. And then by the time I got drafted, it was just like an online thing, and I was just refreshing my phone, and then I saw my name got picked. So that's how I knew. That was my draft day experience.
That's not very exciting. No big call. No, let's talk to the owners. Let's hear the fans are going crazy. Just
refreshed my name and saw it pop up under Real Salt Lake, and I was like, well, I guess that's.
So, do you think it's more exciting for other people to get drafted then? It seems like
the experience looked awesome for everybody else. It looked great,
but it was pain. Your experience was actually painful.
Man.
I'm glad for the sake of this podcast. It was painful, and 14th round, man. I apologize.
It might as well have been it didn't even matter.
I mean, yeah,
I got cut from that team within 3 weeks. I asked to be cut because I was clearly not going to make the team, and that's how I ended up with the Rowdies. So it all is well that ends well.
Look at that, man! Finally, like it all comes together. I was feeling bad for a second there.
Yeah, no, it's all good. It all worked out.
I'm glad you're able to pull the nose up on this one. All right, so I'm excited to talk to Pedro today.
Yeah, it should be a good one. So we brought Pedro in. He scored the game-winning goal against Sarasota in the preseason game, the Coastal Cup. Should be a fun conversation. Born in Brazil, came here, went to college in West Virginia, which I got to imagine is a big shift from Brazil.
It's so crazy when the
Virginia.
guys come from other countries and they end up in like Kansas or West Virginia or just Nebraska or some weird place in America.
And you know what? We're going to figure that one out. So excited to have Pedro on. And again, if you're tuning in, make sure you grab tickets to the game this weekend. Bring your dog. Don't bring your dog. However you want to show up. Rowdysoccer.com. And then we're back into league play at home May 2nd. So if you can't make it this weekend, or maybe you can make both, grab your tickets. Come support the boys, the only undefeated team left in American soccer. Looking forward to our interview with Pedro.
I'll be there. 6 tickets, please.
All right, as promised, Pedro Dolabella, welcome to the Tampa Bay Rowdies Podcast, man, and thank you for joining us.
Thank you for inviting me.
Yeah, of course, man. Looking forward to talking to you. Obviously, you know, I think that the timing of it works out well. You know, we're talking about building this derby game out with Sarasota. They're close. They're down the road. They're a new team, so we got to kind of manifest this and build this thing ourselves until it really gets going. And you had the game-winning goal in the preseason game in the Coastal Cup. So welcome, man, and thank you for doing that because now we're 1-0 in the derby.
No, thank you. Thank you for inviting me again. I mean, that day was very special. You know, first trophy we played for, and I'll take it. It was a good day. We won the trophy, and excited for this weekend.
I think for me, you know, one of the things, like, as you're doing this, right, because, like, when you play in the Open Cup and you play in these different tournaments and, like, you're a player that has come from League One, the same thing with me. I was a player that came from a lower division and made it up. So when you're playing against these teams, you understand what it means to these teams. But now that you're on the other side of that, playing a team like Sarasota from League One, what does it mean to this group to make sure that you defend that home turf? And as this derby goes, that, you know, you kind of let them know, hey, we're the big dog and you're trying to get us.
No, absolutely. I mean, I was on the other side of the coin as well, and we treated those games as, like, the most important game of the season. So I think for us now, too, like, we want to get back on our winning days, and we've been learning a lot from the past 2 games. So we're buzzing for this game to get back with the fans.
Yeah, love it, man, love it.
So you played for Coach Dom for a couple of years, right? All right, good, because my research has been off today. I read that Jeff was picked in the 14th round, so I just wanted to make sure. What is it about Coach Dom where you're like, I want to make sure that I go and play for him again? And if you have any sort of impression or anything that he does, you know, feel free to let us know about that as well.
He has subscribed, though. He has subscribed.
Coach
so
Dom,
be careful. Be careful with your impressions. I would just say that.
Okay, all right. I got. You don't have to do that. I'm sorry. I was pushing there. But what is it about Coach that you go, I would love to play for this man again?
No, sorry, sir. I'm not gonna do any impressions, you know, because I'll get in trouble. But I mean, I played with them 2 years, and we were very successful at the time. You know, like it was my second year as a pro, and I think his first year as head coach. And we had a great partnership. I mean, not only like on the field, like we did good things, but like we were able to be open to talk about like the team, like how we could get better, like what we needed to be successful. So as soon as, I mean, the opportunity arose with all the different things that happened last year, like I was so eager to come in here to Tampa and working with him again and being successful.
How has he changed from, or has he changed from, you know, when you had him your first year to, you know, where he is right now as a coach?
I mean, obviously we're constantly learning, you know, like it was his first year as a head coach, and I mean, he had the early career success when he was in Omaha as well, but I feel like this is a bigger challenge for him, and he's been working his whole life for to be part of a big club and, you know, fight for bigger things. And I feel like he kept the same things that made him successful, like making us work hard and like battle on and off every day in training, pretty much like we did today, and keeping high standards. So I think those are the key ingredients for being a successful coach.
In these conversations that you have with Coach Dom, do you ever tell him like which is your favorite position that he puts you in, because you play a lot of different positions? Have you ever had that conversation where like, hey, like, yeah, this is probably my favorite one, but like I'm good to move around, but like I prefer this one?
No, absolutely. He knows me pretty well. I mean, and I played in different positions for him, and I feel like he understands what time of the game I'm needed where. But like obviously I'm a midfielder. Growing up, I was always a midfielder, so maybe I know I'm more used to playing in that position. But as the time passes here in America, you're asked to play in so many places, and I feel like, I enjoyed this role.
Is that something that, like, once you came to the States, like, is that something that was in your nature in college as well? Like, did you do that with other teams you play for, play these different positions, or is this something that's new to you?
No, absolutely. I mean, and I was 1 year in high school, and I used to play defensive midfielder there, kind of organizing the team. And then when I went to college, started playing more as a 10, but we had a lot of good players in the middle, and we had to fit everybody in the 11. So I started to play as a false 9, as a striker, because of my height, that I could protect the ball and I was good in the air. So I feel like once you play in different positions, you kind of learn more about the game in different ways, like how each position prefers to receive the ball, or like how to make a run. And I feel like sometimes when you play in the middle, you need to make a striker run and to have that instinct of scoring. So I think it helped me through my career so far.
And sometimes too, right? If you're playing that striker role and somebody makes that run in front of you, and the ball turns over, you got to be like, oh, now I got to play this defensive role too. So it gives you that ability to see it both ways.
So you lived, or you truly living the American dream. You started off in Brazil and went to West Virginia, which is the path that I think a lot of people all over the world dream of.
aspire
yeah. To go that route. I don't know why we're making so many jokes about West Virginia. I've never been there. I'm sure it's a great place, but it seems like maybe a culture shock to go from Brazil to West Virginia. What was that experience like for you?
No, absolutely. I mean, first I had a little stop in New Jersey.
Okay.
Because I went there to finish my senior year. So shout out to the Pennington School. I think
Pennington School. Yeah.
Yeah. No, they helped me a lot. Like getting to know the U.S., how it worked academically, and like learning more about the college system. Like I didn't know much about it. I just came with the idea of I'll finish my high school here and I'll come back to Brazil.
Yeah.
But then I started to really get used to living the American dream and like loving this country. And I mean, the only opportunity that showed up to me to play the highest level of college was in West Virginia. So it's something that like.
How was it? How was that when did you know did you just start researching West Virginia when they reached out? Is that like?
No, I was like, I want to play D1 in college. I knew that, and like there were not too many opportunities for me. So like it was the only college that, gave me that path. And I'm like, I never visited before going. I didn't know much, but
you just wanted to play.
I just wanted to play. So in August 2017, I packed my bags and boom, flew to Brazil, to West Virginia, to embark on this journey.
Country roads take me home. Country roads take me home.
So I can sing that song with pride in my heart.
There you go. More so than most people, and everybody sings that song anyway.
Exactly.
So you moved from Brazil to New Jersey then for your senior year of high school.
Yes.
When you showed up at that high school, like I know if it was me and I was playing and it was my senior year and I was playing for this high school team, and if it was like, hey, we got this Brazilian, that would have been like amazing. When you showed up to that school, did you just like take over the soccer program in a way?
No, I was lucky enough to have gone with another Brazilian Italian
to dominate with.
Yeah, you're like, we're coming as a package deal. That's even better. Yeah. That's even better. It's like we got two of them. We got two Brazilians coming my senior year.
Show up as superstars? No, nothing like that. I mean, like obviously they do a really good job, like providing opportunities for like these students from outside of the U.S. to go to.
Was it part of like an exchange program or?
Yeah, sort of. It was like more of a prep school. It was like a boarding school. But there's an agency that brings people over from Brazil, and like they had a good relationship with the school. So I went there just to try something new. I was kind of lost in Brazil, like didn't know what I wanted to do. I still wanted to play soccer, but the opportunities, didn't show up the way I wanted. And I was fortunate enough to have spoken English since I was young. So I think everything worked out. And
it just made sense.
It made sense. I went to a great place, met some great people there, and we won the championship there after, never doing it before. So it was great experience as well. And I mean, I carried the school with me for being part of my life as well.
Yeah, it's awesome. It's part of your journey. Growing up in Brazil, I'm not sure. You've been in the States for quite some time now. Like, I'm not sure how familiar you are with like the youth system and the youth setup there. But what was the youth soccer scene like growing up in Brazil? Because you hear about how all these other countries, you know, they're just playing all the time.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing everywhere. Every park is a soccer field. Everything you do is a soccer pitch. Is that what it was like? Is that like a huge thing down there as well?
No, absolutely. It's from there to worse. It's like you can't look anywhere else where they're not playing soccer. You know, where you see basketball courts here everywhere. It's like futsal, which is street soccer, and fields everywhere, and like you have games all the time, and you have to drive long places to. It's it's growing over here, but over there is the only main sport. It's not basketball, no baseball, no football. So everybody's. You need to make in soccer somehow, you know. And
Is there like a pressure that comes with that?
Oh, absolutely. Once you start,
seriously. Once you decide, I'm like, here's this soccer ball at my foot. They're like, go at like age 2.
Absolutely. You know, like we say if you start to play other sport or do something else, it's because you weren't good enough in soccer. You know, that's kind of the say in Brazil.
So
that's why I started playing soccer, because I wasn't good at the other sport.
So if you went to your family as a young boy and you're like, I think basketball is my passion, they would just kick you right out, right?
Yeah,
They'd say,
like,
get out of here.
Take that out of here.
Let me ask you, what's the, and I was talking to Jeff, what's the feeling, you know, coming off, you know, you had the draw at home, you had the draw, you know, away this past week. Is that just blah? Is it, okay, we got a point, we did good, there were some good things? Like, what's the feeling that you take away from a draw?
I think we're still a very new team. You know, like this is our first 6 games playing together in season, and we obviously have a lot to learn. I think it's so important to have these early lessons in the season. You know, we're still undefeated, but like, obviously wasn't our best performance so far this past game. But it's like we don't want to dwell on that too much. You know, like we learn our lessons. We had a great session today, and we're ready to turn the page. And you know, training today already showed that people going after each other, like wanting to compete, wanting to bounce back and get back on the winning streak. So I think the lessons are being learned for sure.
It almost feels like it gets treated like a loss. I mean, with the way that you respond to it.
No, absolutely. I mean, we set very high standards for ourselves this year, and I mean, I know there's a lot of expectation as well from the outside. And
they're coming from me. I'm leading the expectations.
Our podcast is undefeated as well. So
yeah,
we're really hoping we can hang on to
Nobody's
that.
lost since we've started this whole thing, so we're really trying to work our way up.
But we know we have to block the outside noise and pretty much just focus on ourselves every day in training, and I think you guys are going to see a good response this Saturday for sure.
One of the things that I think is cool about the dynamic of this team is there are so many different players coming from just different spots, right? Like 20 new players on the roster. Yeah. But you played with a bunch of these guys in college as well. So has that been cool reuniting with them? Is this the first time since college that you've played with these guys, or did you guys have stops together along the way?
A few of them I haven't played in a long time. So when they signed Gennaro, we signed Gennaro Negro from Las Vegas, and I played with him in New Jersey in an academy team there in 2016. So after 10 years reconnecting with him, it's been great, you know. And
hopefully he's improved a little bit, right?
Nah, he's an incredible player. You guys gonna see it for sure. But obviously, like Max, I played in Omaha for a year. Dion and all the Omaha boys, like Charlie as well. And Nate is great to reunite after playing Marshall, but also Evan and Louis. So like I'm lucky enough to have played with a bunch of them, but obviously the other guys I played against, and it's great to be on the same boat as them.
It's cool. We talked about that with Dom last week, about just the way that he put this team together. And the more that you dive into kind of like the map of how some of the players have connected, or how, you know what I mean? It's like it wasn't a random thing. Like there's a lot of things that connect a lot of the people. So I think that goes a long way to why you're seeing some of this success, because you guys have so much history together, even though it's a new group. That's pretty cool.
Do you have any favorite spots around Tampa Bay or St. Pete that you've been able to go to? Anywhere you like to kind of chill and just get away from soccer for a little bit?
Absolutely. I mean, I like going to Armature Works
a
lot.
Oh, good
so I know we missed out on the Premier League day. It was something exciting that I wanted to see, but like it's a great place over there, like walking on Bayshore and like seeing the beautiful scenes of Tampa, absolutely. But also in St. Pete area, like yesterday I got a haircut just for the podcast.
Oh yeah, look at that.
Hey, so if you're only listening to this podcast, subscribe on YouTube so you can see the cut.
This is a great haircut, everybody.
Phenomenal haircut.
If you're only listening to this, you got to see the haircut.
You got to see the haircut.
I know that you're kind of not joking, so we appreciate that. They did a great job. So you got a haircut. What was it? The first time you were at that barber shop or something? Or?
No, I went to Shave Cave, which
Oh yeah.
Yeah, big Rowdy supporters.
Shout out to Shave Cave, yes. Brits,
subscribe. Watch it on YouTube.
And it was just walking around the shore there in St. Pete and like thinking like, wow, this is what I'm doing on a Monday here in this beautiful place. It's like how blessed I am to be here, and to be part of this team.
Man, that's such a great attitude. I've asked, we've asked all these guys, and they talk. Some of them are inside with their kids. They're going to Busch Gardens or they're going and getting coffee and everything like that. But you'd see Armature Works, Bayshore, walking around downtown, like it feels like you have really got like the Tampa Bay experience so far, and especially picking up with how beautiful St. Pete is. I'm a St. Pete guy, so that's awesome. That's awesome. I'm glad. I mean, not everybody gets to play in a place like this,
Absolutely, and like I'm so happy to be here, and like I still have so much more to explore in the city. Like I've been to the beach a couple of times as well, but like Jeff said, we keep winning, and good things will keep happening.
Oh, we'll go all over the city with you guys keep winning. Don't worry.
All right, so I want to spin this because I'm curious. Everything that you just said about St. Pete and Tampa, about your favorite things. Put yourself back in West Virginia. What are you doing in West Virginia on a day that you pretend you have a complete off day in West Virginia?
The rodeo.
What are you doing in West Virginia?
Oh,
what were you doing to give yourself some fun in West Virginia?
I mean, I was very happy in West Virginia. Honestly, I had so many good friends there from all over the world. Like obviously Max played with me there, and like we had a bunch of Brazilians, and Milo is a good friend of mine too that plays here in the USL. So like we would always be together, and I feel like that made the experience so good in West Virginia. Like we knew everybody around there. We were never apart. But it's funny that you ask, because Sunday flying back from Charleston, usually when we played the FIU or FAU that were in our conference back in the day, we're like, oh damn, we're leaving this paradise to go back to West Virginia. But I was in the airport. I'm like, okay, I'm leaving Charleston, but I'm going to Tampa.
Back to Tampa. Hey, listen, I don't want this to be a bad West Virginia podcast. I'm just curious. I've only been to Morgantown. I spent 2 nights there, had a blast.
Yeah.
But I don't want this to be a bad on West Virginia. I'm just curious.
No. I think it's fascinating just because Brazil, to New Jersey, to West Virginia, to finally he's ended up in the right place.
In a spot that feels a little bit more comfortable.
We can joke about it now. If he was stuck somewhere else, I mean, maybe West Virginia wouldn't be so funny. But he's in paradise, like you said. So everything's all good and it's working out. Do we have a fan question of the week? Are we still?
We got that up a little bit late, so.
Oh, so we don't.
No fan question of the week this week.
Okay, all right.
So I think we're good there. So one thing that I do want to ask you, and you could tell me absolutely not, like freedom to tell me absolutely not. But I've seen some of your pregame speeches. Mm-hmm. So if you're giving a pregame speech for this weekend, can you give us like a couple bars or no? You need to be on the spot.
Or do those
do you need the adrenaline or
Or do those just happen? Do you have like little things that you're going to say, or when you just get there, you just let it rip?
No, I mean, first of all, West Virginia, I love you. University.
We'll edit this out. This is
Let's take me home.
But no, like usually, I mean, every week in, week out, like one player comes out and speak, and sometimes like, if you're ready to speak, and I know like my last speech, I said a lot of F words.
Good.
Bad words,
Loved it. Got me fired up.
So like I apologize for like the younger crowd that watched. I was like kind of embarrassed, but it's in the locker room, it's in the moment. You want to get everybody fired up. But it's a little bit of a challenge sometimes in English to say some things, to put something together, and like you have to be really like locked in. Maybe some even like practice in the mirror.
Oh man. There's a lot that goes into leadership.
Do you guys know? Is it like discussed beforehand who's giving the pregame speech, or is it on the spot? It's like you're in the circle and it's like speech.
That's a good question. So I'll give it away 'cause I don't think I'm gonna get in trouble. But like usually like Dom comes and say, "Hey man, like do you want to give the speech today?" Like and stuff, and like usually they give it with a few days of like before, a little bit of notice. But in the Jacksonville game, which was my turn. We were going to the bus, and then he's like, oh, Pedro, can you give the speech? I'm like, Okay, I can do it, of course. And then
I want some notice here, buddy.
And then the mind is already thinking, okay, speech. And then as soon as you get over it, you're like, okay, now time to go.
But you're 1-0.
1-0.
You're 1-0 on
Great.
speech games.
The speech worked, man. That was a
Yeah.
great win.
Yeah,
Great.
1-0 on speech games, and the speech carried all through the 90th minute because you needed every minute to win. So
Absolutely.
Hey, did you go out to the St. Pete Grand Prix at all? I feel like I saw pictures of you.
I did.
How was that?
Oh, it was incredible. I mean, thank you for the opportunity, like whoever put together, the marketing team. It was great to meet Enzo Fittipaldi, the grandson of a legend in Brazil, Emerson Fittipaldi, and like I love racing, so like for me it was a great opportunity to be close to, incredible machines. Like,
did they let you go
other
for a
cars.
ride?
Oh, they didn't.
Oh no! I thought
They knew better. No, I'm kidding. I would have crushed them.
that's pretty funny. If there was one thing, I think we got probably. You have any more? I got like 2 more questions. You got anything else you want to lay on them?
Oh no! Well, I mean, I could, but go ahead.
Yeah,
I mean,
so-
I feel like I've done enough damage today.
If there was one thing, you got to do the Grand Prix, but like if there was one like bucket list item in Tampa or St. Pete that you could pull off, what would that look like? Of all the things you've seen so far.
One thing I haven't done yet in the U.S. is to go to an NFL game. I feel like.
Nice, that's doable.
So I've been to the Lightning game. It's been incredible. I went to the game where they played the Panthers, and it was a crazy fight
you
over
saw
there.
the fight game.
The
yeah,
fight
Panthers
game.
Yeah,
And
that's
then I've
cool.
been to the Rays game, the opening day.
Yeah.
So I want to tick off the Buccaneers game
That's doable.
I mean,
coming up in the fall.
That's not a big
That's
ask
not
at
a
all.
big ask. No,
No.
I feel like that's doable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think. I mean, I want to make that happen almost.
Yeah.
I don't know how, but I mean, I'd like to make his dreams come true.
That's doable.
I appreciate you.
That's
Yeah,
a
that's
little
doable. That's doable. I think we can make someone's dream come true.
That finally we're doing something
Yeah.
good on the
Through this
podcast.
podcast, we could do that. We can accomplish that.
God
All right,
bless
man.
you.
We signed everybody off with this question because always, we're trying to get the fans fired up, get to know you a little bit more. What is it that the fans can expect to see from you week in and week out when you're out there on the field? And then again, just speak on what it is that this fan group can continue to see from the team.
I mean, from me personally, like they can expect hunger, desire. Like I'm a guy that has won in like a lot of places I've been to, and I played in a lot of great teams that won some trophies that like had never done before. So I'm excited to, bring all the joy as Brazilian. Bring some joy from the style that we play, but also like give my all to this team. Like I love my teammates, like some that I'm starting to get to know, but like I think we can do really big things this year. And from this team as well, I think everybody's here because they want to prove something, and they want to win a big trophy in the end of the year. So I think everybody's on the right track.
Love it, man. April 25th, the dogs will be in the park. How do you feel about playing in front of dogs?
Oh, it's great. I have 2 dogs back home. I missed them. Snoopy and Freddy, shout out.
Snoopy and
Roof,
Freddy.
You guys better subscribe too. You're not the hook just because you got paws, okay?
Yeah, Snoopy and Freddy. Log in. Lock in.
Have you ever played in front of dogs before? Because this is a dog night here. There's going to be a few hundred dogs there. I mean, do you feel like that? Do you feel like that could disrupt any preparation, or you're locked in no matter what kind of dogs are at the
I've
park?
played alongside dogs. I mean, all my teammates are dogs.
Nailed it.
That's a good answer.
Cut, clip,
That's a- yeah.
nailed it.
Way to pump everybody up there.
Man, that was good. All right,
That was
well,
great.
Rough and Rowdies at the park, April 25th. Derby game, Sarasota Paradise, the first game of the USL Cup. Come check out the boys, and then the next week, again, there's another home game on May 2nd, rowdysoccer.com. Grab your tickets, the only undefeated team left in the country that is playing soccer still. So come check them out. Come on down to Al Lang, and I guess bring your dog this weekend if that's what you want to do.
They need a ticket, though.
They do need a ticket. Pedro, thank you so much, man.
Thanks, Jeff. Thanks, Seth.
Thank you.
Thanks for inviting me.
The Rowdies are near, the Rowdies